Hello.
Hello, hello. Good evening, all. We're excited to be here.
Yep, and excited for Vern too. And
Yes.
Vern and Sean.
Yes, they're going to come on in a
Yep,
little while.
Yep, doing well.
But we're so glad you joined us tonight, and we have a special guest.
Mhm.
So if we want to get right to the birthdays and anniversaries, and then I have a correction to make
Oh, now what?
on one of the anniversaries.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. So birthdays for December. You want to?
I'll
Do
start
half
off
and half?
December 1st, Angela Glass. December 2nd. Oh, go ahead, honey.
Becky Ross and Mindy Grossman.
December 3rd, Rich Bender.
December 4th, Joseph Nobles and Emmanuel Hitu.
We,
Hitui.
I think.
Hitui.
December 6th, Lori Bell and Anna Willis.
December 7th, Dave Carlio.
December 8th, Mrs. Apostadude and Denis Forbes.
December 9th, MJ and Christian.
December 10th, Chelsea and Gail Antonucci and Michael Lost and Colin from the CO visit.
December 11th, Priscilla Garrison.
December 12th, Kelly Carter and Monica Kincaid.
December 13th, Will Chandler and Jessica.
December 14th, Donna Lawson.
December 15th, Michael is going to be 15 years old.
16th, Erica Wagoner.
December 17th, Kumi, 51 years old, and ICU.
December 19th, Dave Roberts.
December 21st, Sarah Schoolcraft.
There's a lot of birthdays in December.
There are a lot.
Well, that's great. December 21st, Sarah Schoolcraft.
Oh, yeah, I just did
Oops.
that one.
And December 22nd, Katliniuk, I think. I hope.
December 23rd, Omar Barrientos. Thank you.
December 24th, Chloe Morgan.
December 25th on Christmas, Charlotte Perkins.
December 28th, Hannah Regina.
December 29th, Nancy Scott and Ian Kenlock.
And the 31st, Gary Alt, 1958.
Happy birthday all. And we've got a birthday song. Okay, and anniversaries for December.
Go ahead.
December 3rd, Martin and Marcia Riley from the UK.
December 5th, Lance and Linda, 45 years.
Happy anniversary. And if there's any more in December, there's got to be more anniversaries. Please let us know. And we've got an anniversary. Okay, and I have a correction. I made a mistake in November, one of the anniversaries, and Jay and his wife, it actually was their 28th anniversary. I think I said 29th. I was making them a year longer, but it's the 28th. So thank you for the correction, Jay. That was on November 22nd, and we hope they had a nice anniversary.
Yes.
Upcoming events, December 20th. Want me to go?
Yep.
ExJW meetup in Phoenix, Arizona. If you're in the Phoenix, Arizona on December 20th at 12 p.m., there's going to be a meetup at the Shake Shack at the Uptown Plaza, Camelback in Central Phoenix, Arizona. Meetup for local ExJWs. Bring your close friend or spouse if you'd like. I'm dragging mine along too.
Nice to be dragged along. By a friend?
So you can check that out. And
Okay, the 20th. XJW, oops.
Yep.
But where are we?
right in New York City.
Oh, meeting and 20th and Feliz
Elise
Navidad,
Navidad.
New York City. I'm right with it. I'm right. Join us Saturday, December 20th for the best kind of new light, a joyful celebration of liberty, community, and holiday cheer. We'll begin the evening with dinner at Marsala's Cochina Mexicana, then pick up some cozy abuelita hot chocolates for a festive stroll through Dyker Heights, Brooklyn, famous for its dazzling Christmas
But that's
lights.
going to be nice.
I want to go.
Yeah, me too.
5 to 6:30 p.m. dinner at Marcellus Cochina Mexicana, and 7121 Hamilton Parkway, Brooklyn, New York, zip 11228.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, and 6:30 to 8, they're going to do that walk
Ah,
through the holiday lights walk. But it does sound like fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then we also have December 20th, an Exit Generation Phoenix meetup, December 20th. This is there's going to be two in Phoenix. That's interesting. We'll meet at the Culinary Dropout at the Yard in Tempe, a fun, open, alcohol friendly spot with a great atmosphere for real conversations. When's that going to be? Saturday, December 20th at 4 p.m., 149 South Farmer Ave, Tempe, Arizona. Didn't we live in Tempe?
Mesa.
Mesa, close.
That's right next.
We currently have a reservation for 10 people, so your RSVP really matters. And if there are more that can make it, they will adjust the reservation if some more people can join them.
Okay.
Nope, there's more.
And the 24th. Look, XJW Christmas celebration, Indiana. Right?
Yep, it's going to
Indiana.
be a 2-day.
24th, 25th at, I can't read all that.
Yeah.
Join us for warm and nostalgic games, complimentary dinner, breakfast, and limited overnight rooms. Optional gift exchange, $10 to $20. Christmas morning. There will be overnight accommodations available, but RSVP by December 10th. That's important. And email Jen at jeffrodite@yahoo.com. Sergeant Road, Indianapolis.
It's going to be a really nice meetup because Jen is opening up their bed and breakfast. So if anyone is in the Indianapolis area on December 24th, please get in touch with Jen. And I see that she's in the chat too. So thank you so much, Jen, for such a generous offer for opening up your bed and breakfast. And then, last but not least, is December 28th at between 1 and 4. We're going to have an XJW Christmas celebration, and that's going to be right here in Frankfort, New York. And we are going to join us for a memorable, joyful Christmas gathering 1 to 4 with cheer. No pressure, just fun and good company with games, food, and festivities. The address is 704 South Frankfort Street, Frankfort, New York. And RSVP Joe and I at 315-221-0130. And we hope, as long as the weather holds, we will be there. So we hope you can make one of these events. And if not, there's probably going to be online meetups too. I know Linda James does a meetup. Maybe she'll be on and she can tell us. So our website is ExJWFriends, and we are getting more and more people using the website. They're looking for meetups, they're looking for people to connect with. And under the Friends tab, we have our counselors, therapists, life coaches. So you can go to one of those life coaches or therapists. They're online. They were all Jehovah's Witnesses, and we hope soon to have Deanna Elise Moore join us on the website. She's going to be our guest tonight, so we'll be able to get more information. Anything else you can think of?
No.
Now, we're going to have Vern and Shauna come on because they have some exciting news.
Okay.
So when they're ready.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Good to see you.
There we go. All right, can you hear us okay?
Oh,
Great.
beautiful.
Great.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So we just wanted to pop on to say
We
he's
made
done.
it.
Yeah.
And thank you from the bottom of our heart, everyone out
Yeah.
there
Oh yeah. We've had
who's helped. It's just great. And now for Christmas, I might have all my functionality back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. That's a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll be close. So I just want to make a point of saying hi to Jane. We see you, and Steen, and all of the comments that are pouring
Yeah.
in from
Thank you very much.
around the world. Like it's
Wow.
it's seriously been really, really, I don't know, it's been uplifting, right? Like
Yeah.
it's been, even packing, we were so full of uncertainty and yesterday, like the procedure went great. Vern did have some issues with his blood pressure. I know I've told some people through updates, but we did go in and have him
Mhm.
checked out today and
It actually went down.
much better. So
Have you ever driven in Calgary?
so we were talking about it after because his appointment was at 12:30.
You're driving along at 110, and then all of a sudden, everyone just
Stops.
slams on their
Yeah,
brakes.
It's 5 lanes.
So if you don't allow
Yeah.
4 cars
Yeah.
with a big truck like mine,
Oh,
you're nailing
yeah.
someone.
So there was grab the dash a couple times on the way there.
So when I got there, my blood pressure was 200 over 100.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
big time. So
So they spent an hour getting that down.
yeah, but it's been fun. But we're ready to go home. Right now, the mountain pass is closed, but we're hearing that it's supposed to be open tomorrow, and
Wow.
we're going to get up first thing and just try to get over into the other side. And
There's an atmosphere. If you go online, there's an atmospheric river.
Yeah.
Washington has floods.
it's
Wow.
And it's coming all Washington, Vancouver. It's coming all the way at this atmospheric river.
Yeah.
We checked home. It's where we live.
pouring.
It's pouring.
Yeah.
Here it's +7.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a Chinook.
Wow.
So
So
you can drive
Calgary.
110 miles an hour. Well, it's 110 kilometers an hour.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
110 kilometers
Yeah.
an hour. So that's about 70. You know, like you guys on the freeways, 80,
80. Yeah.
70, 80, and then they slam on the brakes.
Oh,
Do they do that down there?
No big city
Well,
driving.
not off.
Here, Calgary, they nailed the brakes like 3 or 4 times.
Every overpass.
So then I had to let 5 cars between us, and
And
then
then
cars would
everybody
get in
cuts
front of
in.
us. So then I'm crunched against the car,
Oh, gee.
you know, and I can't stop that quick.
we're
Wow.
we're not big city people anymore. We like the country. We're ready to go back to the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope, be safe. Continue. What's the pass you go through? The
It's
mountain?
Rogers Pass.
It's been
Okay.
closed since we got here. Did
Yeah,
you tell them that story?
So I'll maybe load some.
We wouldn't have
pictures up
got
later.
here on that pass if
Yeah.
we didn't leave when we left.
So
Wow.
what it is that there's a piece to get over the Rocky Mountains. So, and I was wrong. I said before there's I think 4 places in Alberta where you can actually get over the Rockies into BC. So we can either go way north of Jasper, because there's Red Pass, there's Rogers, and then south of us there's Crow's Nest, and there's another one now I'm missing.
No.
But anyways,
The Rocky
Oh.
Mountain Pass, Rocky
Yeah.
Mountain House.
so for us to get straight home, it is going over Rogers Pass, but it is you ascend to about 1,300 meters, so 4,300 feet, and the area gets 45 feet of snow every year. 45 feet of snow.
Oh my
So,
So they're getting her.
oh yeah, we were very fortunate. We slipped through on Sunday and it was closed Monday. It was, I think, open Tuesday. It's closed again today, and we're hoping it's open tomorrow. So otherwise, if there's anybody, online here in the Creston area, we might be visiting you on the way home. So
We'll go south.
yeah,
It's 3 hours longer, but
what can you do?
I
You can
looked
always-
up pass on YouTube. Great
Mhm.
pictures.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you're literally a few hundred feet from the peaks up there. It's all an avalanche zone. You can't
Yeah.
stop anywhere, right?
The
It's-
buildings are covered, like the snow and the buildings look like just a hill, and they dig a little hole in
Yeah.
to get to the door.
And even though they plow around the clock, they still have snow sheds, right? That's where you'll find all of the fancy snow sheds in the mountains. So
Tunnels.
yeah, and that's all they are, because there's just so much snow
It's
that
about-
comes
we
down
counted,
every
what,
year.
6 or 8
Six
tunnels?
tunnels up at that pass.
Tunnels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Do they
or they're called
Snow
snow
sheds.
sheds.
Because it's off just
Are they ever snowless?
In the summer.
They are.
In the summer, it melts pretty good.
yeah, they have green grass
Yep.
up there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, lots of forest. So, but the railroad went through there, and that's what makes it historically famous. That's where they punch through, pushing west.
And they made
so-
a spiral mountain.
Oh yeah,
There's a spiral mountain. That's interesting. It
Yeah.
was now the spiral mountain. I wrote about that in my
Yeah.
book,
But you
and
should-
it's a Sweden or German or Sweden that came and engineered this for the Canadians.
Yeah. Because they needed to get the
First
train
in the world.
from one elevation to the other. So they actually, when you can stand there and look from the side of the highway and watch the trains go in, and you'll see the front of the train past the back of the train.
Oh, wow.
Like, it is just fascinating. And then it's on a completely different level, and off it goes.
Corkscrews down.
Yeah,
That's how they got the elevation.
yeah. So it's just fascinating, the engineering. But
Swiss
anyways,
engineer.
we could talk about this forever.
Right.
But like I said, we did just want to come on and just thank everybody so much again. We just
Great.
appreciate all the support, and we wouldn't have made this
Yeah,
trip without you guys. So
There's a lot of help.
yeah.
Great seeing you. Great hearing you.
Yeah. Sean,
Okay.
Okay.
do you see Deanna backstage? I sent her
Nope.
the. Okay.
Nope, not yet.
Okay. She's trying to get on. I
Who's that
also
lady?
sent you her
That's a
bio
picture. Yeah, I got that.
and her. Are you able to put that on the website, or do I
Yeah.
have David do it?
Oh, on the website? Yeah, that's no problem. I can send this to David. Yeah.
Okay. And then
Yeah. No,
have her picture. Okay. So she's
Yep.
trying to get on.
and you emailed her that link?
I sent it to her right on her messenger.
Okay.
So hopefully she's on.
Seth.
Yeah.
Oh, John, Seth, everybody's
Um,
saying hi, Vern.
Yeah. One thing I want to say is being in the Jehovah's Witness religion is what caused most of my health problems. PTSD. Is that how you say it?
Mhm.
I say it wrong all the time.
You got it.
But we talked about that in the hospital with the doctors, and they had the blood form there, and I said, absolutely, I choose
Oh, yeah.
life
Yeah.
because you can, with this operation, you can bleed to death
It was
if you don't clot.
Yeah.
It was a
So-
form that had to be either signed that you agree to accept blood, or you signed below that you not want. They
Oh,
left
okay.
religion out of it, but the blood question was right,
Right
there. Yeah.
So that's how they're handling that in Canada or in Alberta, anyways, and it's
Wow.
good
Wow.
because you got to make a choice. I choose life, or I'm going to allow myself to die.
Amen.
It's a serious choice.
It is
Yeah.
very serious.
Yes, it is.
So I always choose life because then I can make some more movies and tell people about how the Watchtower has
He's not
messed with
done
our
yet.
minds, caused us problems. When you get PST, when you think Armageddon's coming every day, you're in fight or flight mode. Fight or flight mode.
You say that, Vern. I actually worried about it, and I thought about it, and it's like, why?
Mhm.
All because of that thought that they implanted in our
Mhm,
heads,
mhm.
that notion, that fantasy. That's just-
I that's why I regular pioneered, and I went and did all this stuff because I couldn't fathom people dying. It just bothered me so much. I had to find the sheep, and I did my best to find as many sheep as I could. But
Oh,
funny thing is, I never had no studies.
No, me.
Well, they'd start, but then they'd fizzle out in 3 days,
Yeah.
three
never
times. You know,
baptized anybody except our.
never. You know, so
Yeah, would that-
obviously, I was just in there to learn the ropes so I could do what I'm doing now. And
Okay.
that's what it was about for me. That's how I view it.
So Deanna is backstage.
Oh,
so
great.
we are just going to say thank you very, very much again
Well,
Yeah,
we're going
and-
to say you're welcome.
Yes, very, very, very much.
Oh,
And one thing we heard today, Vern said about being a sheep. She said, "I no longer identify as a sheep."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Good for
We're
you.
people.
Hey, we
Right.
should turn that
We're
into
humans.
a t-shirt. Let's do a t-shirt with that on it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it.
You
Okay.
see the problem with identifying with the sheep, now there's not sheeps.
Yeah.
We're judging, you see.
Well, aren't they goats?
So if we're all just human beings
That's
and we
it.
love each other,
That's
now
it.
we have a different world.
That's right. And
I-
live
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
life with love.
Exactly.
Right.
So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
So much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Well, that
Jeez,
was nice
I'm
to
so
see.
happy for them.
Vern, he's so happy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
healthy looking. And
Yeah.
thank you all for being such a support
Yeah.
for them. We
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
it really puts powerful perspective on what we're here for
Oh, yeah.
and what we need. We need our life. We need to protect it properly without any distorted view of
Yeah.
fantasies.
And this goes so well with our theme tonight, our survival family. Our survival family. We have our biological family, and some of us are fortunate enough to have all our biological family with us. They're not still in that organization, but many of us, we have our survival family, and we truly, truly appreciate you all.
Yeah.
So I guess Deanna's backstage if she's ready. Hey, Deanna.
I am.
Deanna.
I want to talk about sheep and goats.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have goats on my
Oh,
farm,
that's right.
and I will choose goats over sheep any day.
Yeah. I
They
get it.
are smart, they are problem solving, they don't commit the same mistake twice. And you know
Wow.
what? Goats do know the name of their shepherd. I can go out into that field and call those goats by name, and they come
Wow.
running.
Wow.
Yes.
It
Goats
shows-
totally got a bad rap.
That is so good.
Yeah. That's it. There needs to be that truth and to
Right?
overcome the distortions that they provided in the Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I've had sheep before. Sheep, they definitely are meek, but they're also completely helpless. They
Yeah.
cannot take care of themselves. They're a little teeny bit brainless. But you know what? My goats, they'll turn around and charge a dog and defend
wow.
themselves,
It
and they're
just-
team players. I love goats.
It just goes to show you how diabolical it was or it is for people to be viewed as sheep, and it's
Yeah.
it's governmental.
Yeah.
The one that wants to dominate you wants you to feel that way. Wants you to see it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's what I have to say about goats.
One other question. Can you make butter?
You can make goat butter. It's a little trickier because the cream doesn't separate from the milk like it does with cow's milk.
Mhm.
It does it a lot slower, but yes, you can. So it ends up being a lot richer milk because the cream
Oh.
stays integrated,
Wow.
mixed into the milk.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
I
good.
make cheese, feta cheese, mozzarella cheese,
Wow.
yogurt.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's
So
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
glad
joining
you
us.
make-
It's been,
Thank you for having me.
trying to get you on and, everything.
And we hope your brakes are better now too.
Oh my goodness, that was such a providential
Oh yeah.
disaster. Happened at the right time with the
Yeah.
right people.
Yes.
It all ended up being okay. I almost drove by myself. Fortunately, I had somebody with me. I was very, very grateful that I had somebody with me.
That's
Good.
Well, a lot of people know you from your interviews, so we're not going to get all into, your background.
Okay.
It's pretty, you got a lot of
Yeah.
JW stuff, but what do you want to start with?
Well, if anybody doesn't know, I'll just say really quick. I was born into the religion 5 generations. I was baptized at 10. I started pioneering at 11. I spent 38 years in. My entire family, everybody, they're all still Jehovah's Witnesses.
Wow.
Entire family. Wow.
Yeah.
Whereas in contrast, we came in when we were 33
Mm-hmm.
with 3 children, one on the way. We were in for 36 years, fully raised the children.
Yeah.
We're no longer children. They're
Yeah.
wonderful adults right now. and but left after 36 years when we discovered that the organization Jehovah's Witnesses Watchtower systematically and systemically hides and supports pedophiles.
You know, that was an interesting wake-up call for me too, because I ended up leaving the religion. It was about 2014, I think it was. And so I go through my deconstruction process and I realize it's not the right religion. You know, I read Crisis of Conscience and I'm like, okay, it's not the right religion. I didn't go looking for groups though. I didn't look for support groups. I didn't look on YouTube. I guess I probably still had the don't look for apostates kind of thinking or something. Or maybe it didn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it didn't exist in 2014. I don't know. But I accidentally found a Facebook group of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses about 2.5 years ago. And that was what prompted me to tell my story, because as I was reading people's comments, I was like, oh my goodness, how do they find somebody that understands the depth of what we've gone through and everything? So over the last 2.5 years, I've been working with ex-Jehovah's Witnesses in their rehabilitation and stuff. But the mind-blowing thing to me was I had never heard of ARC. I had never heard of the Australian Royal Commission.
Wow.
I didn't realize how the levels of abuse that were in the religion. I've been a life coach for 20 years, including when I was in the religion. I've coached every demographic that you can imagine, you know, Mormons, atheists, you know, every demographic you can imagine. The demographic with the most sexual abuse, I don't know if you could say that word or not, but abuse
Yeah.
is Jehovah's Witnesses. And
Right.
that was kind of like this other, you know, mind-blowing thing to me, to realize, okay, oh, it's just the wrong religion, to, oh my goodness, this is a den of
Dean, I can't tell you
pedophiles. What the
how-
heck?
I can't tell you how angry I was
Yeah.
when I came out. I just couldn't believe it. I
Yeah.
believed it, and at that point, I didn't know how I was going to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The anger.
Yeah, that was a whole other mind-blowing realization, you know, not only is it just not the right religion, but the levels of abuse and cover up and,
Criminality.
you know, yeah. And you know, they've covered themselves really good too, because the victims within the religion, we all think it's just us because nobody's supposed to talk about anything.
Right.
So you go through things and you have these weird things happen to you, but it's just you because you don't realize that it's happening to everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel for everybody that's out there listening, because like I said, I've coached all these demographics over the years and I have not seen a demographic that has more abuse. You know what? Coincidentally enough, there's a couple of other things that ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have in common too. Ridiculously low self-esteem,
Oh, oh my goodness.
guilt and shame off the chart. Like I said,
Right.
I've done all these demographics. The other demographics do not have the level of guilt and shame and
It's
self-deprecation.
groomed. It's systematically groomed.
Yep.
Racism.
Yep.
It is. They are technologists. They know.
They're
what to-
actually brilliant
they
manipulators.
know. They
Yes.
know
Yeah.
what to do.
They do. Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, and at this point, Deanna, we want to be sensitive to the ones that are listening, that are in. There are witnesses who are presently in right now,
Yeah.
and we just want to let you know that we love you.
Yeah.
We love you. We understand the circumstances
Yeah.
you might be going through.
And no judgment, you know,
Oh my God!
if
no.
you're still in because of family,
I get it.
or
I get it.
Yep.
you know, they have older parents, so
Mhm.
they don't want to disrupt it, and we totally understand.
In fact, see, what we're going to address too is the fact that there are ones who are out, which might feel a loss that can't be filled unless they have that kind of involvement that they used to have. Now, I'm not saying that that's up to them. I mean, it's a real situation. It's very real.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't just a religion. It was our whole entire life.
Oh,
It was your whole
it
entire
is.
lifestyle, your whole
Oh my-
entire life structure. You know what? It takes a lot of guts to blow up your life completely. It takes a lot of,
See, I'm thinking of our 4 children.
Yeah.
were raised in it.
Mhm.
And I I can't dictate what they should or shouldn't feel.
It's not up
I
to
Right.
us.
I want them to have what they need. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not the one that knows. I do not know what they need.
Yeah.
And we just want to let people know that we have to be careful with ourselves. You know, you can easily follow a crowd in two different directions,
Mm-hmm.
either deep into that organization and bang, deep out, and
Right.
then find yourself lost.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening. We're sensing that. We're seeing that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
we're
fam-
talking survival
the
family.
family. There are people that will help you through that
Now we
circumstance.
hear them.
You got a war going on back there?
No, we don't.
Somebody's driving up the driveway, and my 3 dogs are telling
Oh,
me somebody's
good.
in the driveway.
Good for them. Perfect.
As long as
Perfect.
we know it.
If it lasts for more than a couple minutes, I'll mute myself and go boot him
Oh, yeah.
outside.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll understand. Believe me. We want to let people know that your friends are people that care about what you're going through. Then they may not be biology. They may just be that person who's around you that needs you and you need them. Well, that's your family. That's that's your family.
Yeah.
And they're there.
This is such a critical topic to talk about, and I'm speaking from the depths of my soul, because I lost everybody. I lost my children. I lost my parents. I lost my grandparents. I mean, literally, I lost everybody overnight. And when you're in that, and you know, I know that maybe some people haven't been as hardcore shunned, maybe as recently. Maybe they're still getting a little bit of crumbs or something, you know. But
Okay.
let's see, are they going to shut up or are they not going to shut up?
Well, do what you have to do. Don't worry
Are they
about
going to
that.
shut up?
No, it's not a problem if you have to take care of it.
Let me go tell my dogs to shut up really quick.
Yeah,
I'll be right
go
back.
ahead. We're here. The idea of family are people that relate to each other in a way where we care about each other and we want to be there for each other. It's not so much that we may think the same. We may not think the same. Family members don't have to think the same. They just have to care about what the other person's going through and realizing that, well, they can do something about it to help. We can help. See, we don't have to think the same. But yet I can help, or they can help. And there's people around each other that are ready for that. They're ready to do that.
Okay. I'm back.
Good. Okay. Glad you were able to take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just talking a little bit about how there are people right around us who are ready to love us, and who you're ready to love. They work the two-way street. And what? Go ahead.
It reminds me of the scripture that says, "He that's lost father, mother, brothers, or sisters for the sake of my name will receive it 100-fold."
Yes.
And that is not just a Christian biblical principle. That is a law of the universe.
Yeah.
That when you lose something, it has to be replaced with something. The universe does not like gaps or holes.
No.
So when something disappears, something comes back to replace it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're not feeling like something has replaced it yet, it's usually because we ourselves are rejecting it. We have these limiting beliefs that, you know, worldly people are evil, and some of that can actually stop us from
does.
creating our culture, creating
Oh,
our new
yeah.
family,
Oh, no, it does.
creating that environment,
Well,
you know?
well, Deanna, what we noticed is that there are ones that so painfully long for the ones that they their blood relationships and their old friends, and they're focused on them. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And they're not recognizing that there are those out there that they're ready to love them. They are loving them,
100%.
but they're not looking in that direction.
Right.
They're focused. They're focused on the past. They're focused, and what they're really doing, they're rejecting. They're rejecting the love of those that want to give it. And
Well, and when it comes to this concept of the universe not wanting there to be a whole,
yeah, vacuum,
sometimes we haven't let go.
right?
So it's hard for us to say, okay, wait a second. They're giving me some crumbs. You know, I've got this crumb of a relationship, so I'm going to do whatever I can to keep the crumbs. Well, if you're holding on to those crumbs of a relationship, there's also not, energetically speaking, a void for the universe to fill.
Right. I know.
So sometimes we really have to come to this place where we realize, okay, wait a second. Part of the reason why they excommunicate us is to protect their spirituality, blah, blah, blah. We know all the reasons. But, you know, there's not maybe necessarily something psychologically wrong with that. They're trying to protect their
Oh, yeah.
identity. They're trying to protect their beliefs. So why would we not feel like we also have the right, if not the obligation, to protect our identity, to protect our emotions? I mean, how do you feel when you get off the phone with your mom and you get those teeny tiny crumbs? How many of you cry because it's not a real relationship?
Right.
It's a shadow. It's conditional love. And as long as we keep holding on to those crumbs, we don't have the space in our heart to say, all right, where's my adopted mom? Where's my adopted brothers and sisters? Where's my adoptive children? Where's the children that need a mother? Because here I am.
And we live by the words, and the words that we need are, I am worthy of that kind of love. I am worthy. And there's someone who needs that kind of love from me in return.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's a two-way street.
We have a friend who's been out for quite a long time. And, you know, she was disfellowshipped or disassociated, I don't know, but no one would talk to her. And now, like you said, they're giving those little crumbs. And she said, I would rather them not talk to me than give me this superficial, hi, how are you?
Horrible.
You know, we'd love to have you back at the meeting. And
yeah, we have a special talk this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You know, in some ways, I kind of feel like it was a blessing in disguise that I got so hardcore shunned by everybody.
Yeah.
Because that was like, all right, well, okie doke. I see where I stand now. Let me go create. There was nothing to hold on to. It was, there was nothing, there were no crumbs. I didn't have any crumbs. As I'm talking with people, there's a lot of damage that comes from being okay with the crumbs.
Yes.
First of all, it's not a real relationship anyway.
No.
It's not sincere. It's not fulfilling. When you get off the phone with them, a lot of times you'll feel like crying because it's bad. It's toxic. There's a lot of information about toxic relationships, and I think people have the hardest time applying that information to your biological family.
Yeah.
You say, okay, toxic people, it must be somebody at work, it must be a neighbor, it must be a friend.
it
Wait a
can't be.
second.
It can't
Toxic
be.
people can be your parents too.
Right.
No, no.
Toxic people can be your biological family. You know, Hitler, guess what? He had parents, I'm sure he had kids, he had biological family.
Yeah.
And sometimes recognizing that the way we're being treated is damaging and toxic, and your own self-preservation, your own self-worth sometimes requires you to say, you know what? I'm not okay with crumbs. You either love all of me or you love none of me.
That's it.
And sometimes our family is quite honestly not going to be capable of doing that because they're in a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that organization, cult, whatever it is, they know how to basically sift out the different personality types.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a person gets to find out what type they are. And the ones that are able to, they accept the download and they'll speak the speak. And in their heart of hearts, they may not be hungry for anything better or
Yeah.
anything. But then there are the others that are left absolutely hungry, starving. And they're going to starve to their emotional death if they don't leave.
Right. Right.
They are.
When it comes to relationships in the religion, if there's one thing that I want people to take away from this, it's understanding that yes, your family loves you, but it is conditional. It is conditional. So no matter how wonderful those relationships are, there's a really good chance that on a scale of 1 to 10, what you think is wonderful is like a 3.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything to compare it to. So it's still, so the 3 probably feels like a 10. But as you create that space to be able to find your clan, to be able to create your family, you all of a sudden will realize that, dang, what I thought was a 10 was actually a 3. And this is real friendship. This is real friendship. So we were talking about how I was supposed to be here last week, but my car blew up. This is a friend. This is the kind of friend that you can find in the world. So the person that went with me, I met him and his wife 5 years ago when I moved here. It was we went out to breakfast and he says, he says, I feel like we've known each other forever. I feel like we've known each other for lifetimes. This is a family that has been there for me through thick and thin in ways that no one ever, ever, ever has.
Yeah.
I was driving people. I went to the airport about 8 hours away. I was driving people. Well, he was driving actually. He says, you know what? You shouldn't drive by yourself. I'm going to drive you. I'm going to go with you. So my friend drives us up to the airport. The brakes completely disintegrate. I mean, it was like brake pads, discs, calipers, like the whole thing was like total meltdown. He's like, you know what? You take the bus, you go home. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fix it for you.
Wow.
So he's like running around to the mechanics. He even loaned me some of the money because I didn't have the cash on hand. He's like, don't worry, I'll pay for it. Just pay me back whenever. Do you know, I never had somebody in the religion, not even my own family, that was willing to do stuff like that, and that's not a one-off thing. It's beautiful. It's the most wonderful friendship.
So Deanna, let me ask you this, Deanna, why do you do nice things for people?
I do nice things for people because I love people. I love people.
I get it. And that is love. That those actions are love. But let me ask you this: how does it make you feel?
There is more happiness in giving than there is receiving.
Makes you
So
feel
there
good.
is, there is, that is definitely, that is absolutely the happiness that we were denied a lot in the religion too.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't want
I mean, oh, so the 3 years before my life blew up, I was serving where the need was great in the Dominican Republic. And I was in a Haitian Creole congregation, the poorest nation in our hemisphere. I mean, they're like really, really, really poor.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I was driving down the street and I saw this young man. He was probably in his early 20s and he's crying, just bawling hysterically on the side of the road. So I pull over and I go, "What's wrong, sweetheart?" And he shows me his hands. He says, "Look at my hands." And they were the most calloused, horrible hands I've ever seen. And he says, "I work 3 jobs and my wife is dying and I don't have the money to pay for the surgery." And I said, "Well, what's the deal?" And she was in labor and she needed a C-section. So I said, "Get in the car." I took him to the hospital. A C-section in the Dominican Republic back then cost $40.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So I paid $40. I paid 40. I mean, how do you let somebody die for $40?
Oh,
You
my
know?
Goodness.
So I paid for it. They let me name the baby. And but here's the thing. I got into so much trouble for that with the elders. I was in the back room in a half a second because I was bringing too much attention to myself. That wasn't a Bible study. Now I'm making rice Christians, and everybody's going to
Oh my
think
God.
that everybody's going to come to the
That's
meetings wanting handouts. And I'm like, what would Jesus do? I think I might have actually said that. But you
Did
know
what?
what? Seriously,
Yeah.
$40, I'm going to get in trouble because I did something kind like that. But that's the religion that we were in.
Yep.
A stingy, closed-hearted, contingent on your behaviors. And that is not what you are going to find and create for yourself on the outside.
No.
Yeah.
I also think that probably ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have some trust issues.
Oh,
Probably because we were lied to. So I
Probably.
have some trust
Yeah.
issues going on. But if you could let yourself just trust those of us that have been out for a
Yeah.
little while, I swear you will find better friends and better family than you ever could have imagined possible.
You know,
And the realization that your new people are a 10
Yeah.
and that the old people were
That's right.
crumbs,
Yeah.
you're gonna be so grateful that you opened up your heart.
We tell people to trust your intuition, but as a witness, you don't know what your intuition is.
No.
You
Right.
have to develop
Well,
your
you're ignoring
intuition.
it. You're ignoring
Right.
So
Yeah, your heart's treacherous. Your
Yeah,
thoughts are
right,
evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Joe and I took a trip all the way out to California by car. We were 70 years old, and everybody was telling us, be careful, please be careful. You know, there's people out there. We have a saying that good people find good people. And just a little experience, it won't take too long, but we were walking in New Mexico, and it was very, very, very windy
in the spring.
in the spring. And something, piece of paper fell out of my bag. I didn't notice it. This man pulls up in a truck, and he said, I just saw a piece of paper fall out of your bag. He goes, I'll go get it. So he's got his truck, and he's going ahead of us. And we're trying to walk against this wind.
There are people who are stopping saying, do you need
Yeah.
a ride? Because it's so windy in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Spring, you can't walk.
Right.
So anyway, this piece of paper ends up going behind this fence. So the three of us are there trying to figure out. I said, it's probably not important. It's just a receipt. Don't worry about it. He was bound and determined he was going to
Just
get
wanted to
that
help.
piece of paper. And someone finally came along and on the other side of the fence, I think, and they
Yeah.
got it for
Yeah.
us. And
Yeah.
he was the nicest person. And we
Yeah.
had a bag of candy, and we gave him some candy. He said, oh, my grandchildren are going to love this. And we took a picture with him. And so, we said, good people find good people. Now, that
Yeah.
was just a little thing, but
Yeah.
how many people, who a witness only if it's a Bible study or if they can place magazines with that person, or something like
Conditional.
that. Yeah.
It's conditional.
Well,
I've got some stories like that too that I'd like to share, because when I lost my everything, I'm the life coach. And one of the advantages that I had was previously I was in Utah when I started doing the life coaching. And so all my clients were Mormon. They were all ex-Mormon who coincidentally have, they're also a cult. We're like sister cults. So their rehabilitation is a lot like what the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses were. So I had already created this whole program for the Mormons, never imagining that I was going to need it for myself, right? But one of the first things that I worked on with myself was my beliefs that the world is evil, that the world is out to get you, that worldly people are going to rape you and screw you over, and that they're all drug dealers and whatever. That's the first belief that I restructured in myself, because now I'm in the world. Now I am the world, and I've got to make this place my own. And our beliefs are really, really critical when it comes to creating our reality, because, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Your beliefs will fit. So if you believe that people are evil, you're going to find evil
find
people.
evil
If you
people.
believe
That's
that
right.
people are good,
Yep.
you're going to find good people.
Yep.
If you believe that people are evil, there could be a wonderful person right in front of you, and
Yeah,
you
right.
literally won't be able to see it, or you'll be suspicious or something. So
Yeah.
the first thing that I worked on was people are wonderful. People are loving. People are just people. People want to help. So it was just barely a couple months after I was doing this custody battle from Florida to Colorado. And, practically impossible to keep a job because I'm going back and forth and stuff. So I was kind of homeless actually. And I was sitting in the car of a grocery store parking lot and I was crying in the car. And this older lady, she knocks on the window and she goes, "Are you okay, honey?" And so, I'm crying and I kind of start telling her what's happened. She goes, "Come on, let me take you for a cup of coffee." So she takes me for a cup of coffee and I'm telling her about this custody and I don't know how I'm going to get my kids and all this other kind of stuff. And she says, "Well, how are you going to get your kids back if you don't have a house?" And I go, "I don't know. I don't know, but I don't have the money to come up with deposits and, I'm working 2 weeks here and then traveling. I don't know." She says, "My neighbor died 7 years ago, fully furnished house.
Wow.
And the son inherited the house and he literally just closed the door and there is a fully furnished house right next to me."
Wow.
She says, "Let me call him and see if he'll let you stay there." So she calls him right there in McDonald's and he says, "Give her the keys to my house."
Wow.
So they gave me the keys to a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, fully furnished house that man did not charge me a cent for a year.
Wow.
For a year. A total stranger. A total stranger. I never met him. Well, no, I did meet him right towards the end. The water heater blew up and he came to replace the water heater. But other than that man let a total stranger live in his house free for a year.
Wow.
That's amazing.
When do you find anything like that in the religion? I didn't. There was nothing like that would happen in the religion. So then I had gotten this really bright idea that because I had to travel back and forth and I would buy a car in Miami, because Miami is like one of the cheapest places to buy a used car. And I'd drive to court in Colorado and I'd sell the car and hopefully make enough money to kind of finance the trip. So I'm driving around in Miami and I find this used car dealership and the guy totally did not look trustworthy. He's like totally not trustworthy. And he looks at me and he's like, "What are you doing here? You should not be here." And I go, "I need a car." And so I like explain my brilliant plan and I tell him my situation and everything. And he says, "I'm going to sell you the car that I would give my own daughter. And I'm going to give it to you at cost."
Wow.
And he says, "And I'm going to teach you how to sell it." He says he walked me over the car and he's pointing out all these tips of, what to do and how to sell it and stuff like that. And he says, "Who knows that you're making this trip by yourself?" And I go, "Nobody cares. Nobody cares. My family knows, everybody knows that I'm driving cross country alone and nobody cares." And he says, "Well, I care." He says, "Every time you stop for gas and every time you stop for the night, I want you to send me your location so that I know somebody knows where you are." And so that's what we did. And there was a couple of times where he'd say, "No, no, no, drive 30 minutes farther. It looks like it's a little bit better of a place." And I drove my first car, I doubled my money on it.
Wow.
And so I do a one-way plane ticket back to Miami and he was waiting there with another car. He helped me do that 7 times.
Goodness.
7 times. To this day, it's been 11 years. To this day, he'll still send me messages and go, "I'm just checking, are you okay? Is everything okay? If you're ever back in Florida, come stay with me." Oh, that's what we have when we open our world up.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Deanna. And we're going to say that's right around you, all the other people that are listening. It's right around them. It's
Anybody could make that happen.
And this is where faith comes in.
Mm-hmm.
See, faith in ourselves and faith that there's others who are like me.
Mm-hmm.
There are others like me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to meet him or them or her.
I don't know if you know, Deanna, but we have, from the 3 years that we've been out, we've had a lot of contacts. People, give us their information and we don't give it out. But if there's someone looking for someone in a certain area, we'll connect them if it's agreeable. So just recently, without mentioning any names or anything, there was this person in a certain state that needed some help, and we knew a couple that lived close by, connected them, and just yesterday they had coffee together. They're all ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, so they all know what it means, trauma bonding. And it was so nice to be able to connect them just because we had a contact. Yeah. And we met these people. We talked to them on the phone. And so, it's just wonderful.
I have to give credit to to the Watchtower
Mhm.
for one thing and one thing only. And that is really, I really mean this. They used their resources and the combined efforts of the individuals to connect people from around the world who normally would never,
Yeah.
ever be connected.
Never.
It's a
Yeah.
network. We
Yeah.
have that network
We
that
already have
they
it.
did.
Yeah.
It's at our fingertips now. But now we're using it to love each other, to take care.
Well, that's a human quality,
Yeah.
not just the religious quality.
Right.
When I moved to the Dominican Republic to serve where the need was great, I didn't know anybody there, but I'd had couple people, these are special pioneers, so we kind of emailed, texted back and forth. And I had given them, I don't know, $400 or $500 to rent me a house. They rented me a house, picked me up at the airport and everything. So that's my international brotherhood. That's my spiritual brotherhood. So now I'm out of the religion and I live in Ecuador now. So I moved here to Ecuador about 5 years ago. And so I'm like, how am I going to do it without my international brotherhood?
Right.
Guess what? The exact same way. It's
Yeah.
the exact same way. You get a couple of referrals from people.
That's it.
I had a total stranger that came recommended from a couple of other people that picked me up at the airport. After a 6-hour drive, we're like BFFs forever. I stayed at an Airbnb the first 10 days that I was here. I ended up being like this with the owner of the Airbnb, who ended up, to this day we do holidays together. Our families are this close. His brother is the one who ended up driving me to the airport, who's been my closest friend all this time. Humanity is a network if you
That's
let
right.
it be. If you
Yeah.
if you trust and if you let it be, humanity can be that network for you.
The one scripture that keeps going over in my mind with regards to these relationships are the beauty of man is his
Mhm.
loving kindness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I totally vouch for that. I vouch
Yeah.
for it. It is.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
We're going to put the StreamYard link up for our audience if anyone wants to come on. We've got another hour. Are you okay, Deanna?
Yeah.
Your schedule? Okay.
Yep. I'm good.
Okay, good. So if anyone
My dogs
wants
are quiet.
to come on, yeah.
Invite him in.
I turned the lights out.
So, the fact that you're in Ecuador and you do put like you have like a retreat center, how would you
Mhm. Yeah.
describe?
Yeah. We've got 40 acres here. So we've got rooms set up and everything like that. And we have people that come here and they do plant medicines. So that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But basically, kind of in a nutshell, one plant medicine therapy is probably worth about 5 years of therapy. It's some intense emotional healing and some intense emotional release.
I've heard a lot of
And
great.
it's a really beautiful place to heal too. Our property is right up against the Amazon, like the real Amazon, not the shopping one. So there's
Yeah.
like thousands and thousands of acres. We've got waterfalls. I made my own paradise.
That's right. And you're sharing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Mhm.
I've always loved helping people.
Yeah.
And so now the whole world is open.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I found that too because I pioneered because I do love people.
Mhm.
And it wasn't, I mean, I just love people. And
Yeah.
it was easy to start
Mhm.
Bible studies. I never baptized anyone, but I mean, it was
Mhm.
easy to start Bible studies because you're kind and you're interested in them. And
Mhm.
I had this one Bible study come to a convention just because I asked her to. And it was funny. I said, we'll be sitting on the floor. She literally thought we were going to be sitting
Sitting on
on
the
the
floor.
floor.
Oh.
So she wore like these, she didn't wear her best clothes, but it was fun. And I said, well, it was easier because she had, to get to the restroom, quickly. And so, but anyway, she said, the only reason I came is because you asked me to. But,
Yeah. I know that not everybody has such family, good memories of being in the religion or preaching or going out in service or anything like that. But honestly, that I really did love that part of the religion. I was almost always in a foreign language, so we were teaching people how to read. It was
Wow.
literacy classes too. You know, it was parenting. It was to me it was more of a humanitarian. I mean, obviously I was trying to like recruit them, but there was also to me a real human aspect to that too.
Yeah, beautiful. We've got some great friends, great humans here.
Yeah,
that like to-
Matthew, Andy, Apostrophe. Anyone want to go
I
first?
think I saw it.
Okay,
Apasta.
Matthew, he's got his hand up.
Okay.
What,
I
Apostrophe?
think I saw Pasta Babe coming first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. You want to go first, Linda?
No, I can wait.
Well, have at it, each other.
Okay, there's been too much violence. So, Deanna, I'm still blown away at the story you told us about the home that closed up and nobody had been living there. And this woman came to you to see how you were doing. And that's something that I can tell she followed her intuition
Yep.
to come to your window as you're crying and
Yep.
to, get up in your business. Socially, we're not supposed to do that,
Right.
but she did. And
Well,
I'm
I'm
just so
I'm a
thankful she
firm
did.
believer in energy, and my energy was vulnerable, I suppose. It was
Hmm.
open to help. If in my mind, if my energy had been like, closed, afraid, scared, sitting in the car like this, afraid to talk to anybody or looking at her weird when looking at her weird when she knocks on the door, that could have gone a whole different way. That could have been a
True,
whole different
true.
way. Or how
And I
often
didn't even
somebody
think
says,
about
"Oh,
your side.
are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I don't need any help. I'm totally fine." But that that
That's faith.
openness
See, that's
of
faith.
Willing to be
being ready to
vulnerable.
receive,
See, see
Yeah,
that's faith.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
faith that there's others that would love you.
Yeah. Yeah. That the universe has your back, that everything is going to be okay, even though it really
Yeah.
sucks right this second.
yeah. The universe does not lie, and
Yeah.
and yeah, I agree. I'm just happy to hear that story. I love to hear stories that confirm that. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
I've got a million of those stories. Maybe I should do stories like that on my YouTube
Oh, yeah?
channel.
Oh,
People
no,
would
you
love
can be
it.
on any time. Yep.
Matthew, looks
Matthew,
like you're
good to see you.
yeah.
Can you
Am
hear
I
us?
coming through there? Can you hear me, folks?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Yes, very
well.
well.
Hi.
Wow, it's good to be with you and have enjoyed your accounts there, Deanna. It's got the comments going, and I think many are relating to them. But yeah, your recollection of your struggles there, I think it's very human. I think it's also very relatable, and I don't know if this is still working, but yeah, thank you very much for sharing all of those things. I think
You're
I'll just
welcome.
keep it simple. Thank you, Frank
I
and Joe.
really, really, really hope somebody listens to me, because I hear so many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that are struggling to find a community, that they're struggling to find loyal friends. And I hate to say this, but it's probably your fault. It's because there's an energy that we put off. And when you're suspicious of people and when you assume the worst of people, guess what? You're going to see it. You're going to find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think there's also, in recovery groups, you have so much traumatizing
Mhm.
that even when you come in with the best of intentions,
Yeah.
that I think like I heard someone say, Anne Marie, our sunburn.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like inevitable that there might be something triggering. We say or express our own truth, and we inadvertently trigger the community, but it's not the intention. So
Yeah.
it's not easy to always navigate, but I think we're getting better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another example that I'd like to share that illustrates this point really, really well. So I'm here in Ecuador. Coincidentally, there's some Texans, some other gringos down the road from me, right? Not religious, not JW or anything, but just foreigners. And I had them over for dinner, and they start talking about this local Ecuadorian guy who's an ass. And they're talking about what a jerk he is and what a blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, he's like this horrible guy, right? And I go, wait a second, which neighbor is this? And it happens to be my neighbor that borders my property, who I think is like, he's the best neighbor ever. He's the best neighbor ever. My goats are constantly trespassing on his property, and he's like, Deanna, the goats are over here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I've like volunteered to give him hay, and and then he'll call me back and he'll be like, hey, I butchered a cow. Here's some meat. Just like the nicest guy. And so is he an ass or is he a nice guy?
Depends on who the person.
Depends on who the person is. Because I'll tell you, the foreigners, they are also very difficult. They walk around with a chip on their shoulder. They walk around thinking that because they're, rich gringos, everybody's going to take advantage of them and everybody's out to get them. And you know what? They bring that out in my neighbor. They bring it out. They see a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, And to me, he has been the most loving, kindest, cooperative. I mean, he probably could have sued me for all the damage my ghosts have done, but he's just the kindest, nicest guy. So how is that possible? It's because our energy, the way we treat people respond to that.
Well, maybe the point is we make the world that we live in. We make it, and it'll only be what we make of it, and that's
exactly
it. No more and no less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An elder visited me yesterday.
Oh, really?
Wow.
What happened?
I received a warning because it just wasn't going to be good if I made an appearance. I was going to launch into all kinds of things. So it was good that I got a warning. But they brought gifts. They actually brought gifts. I said, is this gifts for the family or this is gifts for me? Turned out it was gifts for me. Genuinely.
No! That's a policy change.
Yeah, because I think Joe and Fran will get this completely. We're experiencing fracture within the organization. So because everything was on record of events that had happened, the big abuse, read that, the big abuse, which now the shunning policy is weaponized to remove liability or anybody that knows about the abuse. It's there for all of these elders to see, and it's created a fracture. So it was always compartmentalized, but now what's happened is it's split open. And a family said to me, they said, Matt, you don't realize what's actually going on. They said they are very aware of what they've done, and they're feeling guilty, and they're trying to, in their various ways, make some kind of restitution, but they're trapped.
Yes.
Now, I'm just relating a true story. I'm not siding with anybody. I'm very neutral. I'm just saying this is what's happening.
And I'm speaking to them right now. If they're there, that you have friends. You have friends. The ones that have already come out that were like you, as well as ones you who are coming out are going to be friends of others.
Yeah.
This is happening right now. It's just, and we've been privileged to be a part of it, to see it. Privileged.
Can we let Annie? Annie was next on, and I think you just have to unmute yourself, Annie. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah. Good news.
Yes, very good news.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi.
Okay. Hello. Hi, Deanna. I'm kind of blown away by all the things you're saying. I lived in Colorado for a period of time, and I was in very wealthy congregations and then more humble ones. and I had bad experiences. I got put out on the street twice. I sold my home, and just before the housing crash, which at least it saved me from being underwater with it, but it left me dependent on other people. And ironically, one sister suggested that I should go to a shelter, to live in a shelter. And I thought, wow, how is that showing Christian
Right.
love? And
Right.
and because I know what shelters are like, and I'm not
Yeah.
a streetwise person. I basically was homeless, and I'm not streetwise, and I knew I'd never make it on the street.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I did end up having some elder and his wife take me in. I kind of sofa searched for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but we became good friends from
Mm-hmm.
that. But when I was put out, it basically was about money because I
Yeah.
just didn't have it, you know.
Yeah.
And but I like your point about the universe. I think that's something I'm struggling with myself to. I forget about that. And it's kind of hard to put stock in that the
Yeah.
universe will take care, because I find I have fears that rise up from time to time and destabilize me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to go, what is wrong with me? Why am I feeling this way? And
Right.
sometimes it's loneliness, I think, that hits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and I'm a social person. I work in people's homes, and I do have people I have contact with. There's something more, and I can't really put my finger on just what it is. I came out of not only the cult, but a pretty dysfunctional family too. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can come out completely unscathed. So, but yeah, I like your thought about the universe and what the universe will provide for you.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have experienced it and not always recognizing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
And when you program yourself to be able to recognize it, it strengthens your confidence that it's real.
uh-huh.
You know, you're constantly looking for gifts. You're constantly looking, because if you look for something, you're going to find it, you know.
Right.
At the same time, the opposite is also true though too. If you believe that the worst is going to happen, if you believe that you're going to be fake friends,
Yeah.
that's what we end up creating for ourselves too, if nothing else, because our own energy isn't sincere. But I will say at the same time that it's really important for us to be able to start developing our intuition. When you come out of the cult, our intuition on a scale of 1 to 10 is like negative
Not
5. We really, really have to start learning how to listen to those inner voices. You know, the chances of you being schizophrenic is super low, so listen to the voices. You know?
And this
The
is where,
percentage of the population is low, so you're probably safe.
and this,
But paying attention to the communications, you know?
and then Deanna and everyone, this is where we benefit from the stories that we share each other. These aren't
Right.
just stories. These
Right.
are our future. These are our future life courses that
Exactly.
we take on, and then we write this. You know, it's almost as if we embed this code in ourselves, and then we're amazing as humans. Then we project it. We
Yeah.
project it, and others see it, and we connect. This is everything that I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
and this is real, and this is happening. This is us. We're humans. We're not. We're not sheep. And this is what we have as humans. And
Mm-hmm.
when we behave that way, the world just opens up. The world just
Yeah.
opens.
Yeah.
I must say I do have by nature good instincts. I always have, and when I don't listen to them, I pay for it.
Right.
But one of the problem, hard time feeling love, I think, when it comes my way,
Yeah.
to be able to feel that, because as a kid I never really felt love. I felt very neglected. I had to take care of myself, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of my problem. I have a hard time recognizing and feeling when
Yeah.
it comes my way.
That's actually a pretty common feeling. So when I'm coaching somebody, if I ask them to remember, access a memory, or think about a time where they were really happy, or they had really good self-esteem, or they felt super confident, a lot of times they're like,
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
know. Yeah,
Right.
they'll have a hard time finding a memory like that. Whereas if I'm saying, hey, you know what, can you think about the last time you were furious or betrayed? They're like, oh yeah, I got a whole list of that. We can access the negative feelings a lot of times a lot easier than the positive feelings. The reason being is that the negative feelings are tied to our survival, our flight or fight, and our survival. And so it's easier for the brain to trigger those survival danger red flag feelings
Yeah.
versus really intensifying and teaching us how to live with love, confidence, trust. And I would add on top of that that there's probably a good reason why a lot of us have a hard time accessing those feelings, especially if you were born into the cult, because that was conditional love. So you cannot interpret conditional love as real love because it's not. There's always going to be those strings attached. So those feelings are not the same. What you feel with conditional love is not the same feeling as true love. So that's something that we have to start cultivating. That's something that we have to start learning how to feel. I would probably say that probably the fastest way to do that is probably some of the plant medicines. They can really teach you what it feels like when somebody has maybe spent their whole life not knowing what that feels like. I mean, it's kind of like if you try to describe to somebody what a strawberry tastes like that's never had a strawberry, there's not any real way that they're really going to get what it tastes like until they've tasted it.
Right.
So cultivating those feelings of love, gratitude, that's kind of a muscle. It's something that we have to really work on. We have to work on it.
Yeah, we do.
So how does one do that without the plants that you speak of? I'm into natural things, but how do you do that without those things? They're not available here.
Right. Well, some of the NLP, the neuro linguistic programming, is the tool that I use that kind of helps start unlocking those feelings in people and teaching people how to rewire their brain to feel those feelings. But it's
Okay.
100% possible. Your
Okay.
life only blossoms once you start learning that, it's almost like we're walking around with, a box of 64 crayons and we're only using 4 different colors. There's a million different emotions. There's a plethora of feelings that we could have versus the handful that we've chosen as our default emotions.
Mm, okay.
I
Yeah.
appreciate everyone opening themselves up to this. I do.
Yes.
Can we maybe hear from someone else? I think Slavika was
You were
there.
next.
Oh,
Welcome.
hi.
Hi, Slavika.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, it's always lovely to see Fran. She has such a friendly smile, and she's just like a teddy bear, a loving little teddy bear.
I think so too.
Thanks.
But, I had an experience yesterday. I went to a meeting on a Zoom, and it's the brother or ex-brother who invited people to his Zoom, and it's people getting together, and so this is French people, by the way, from France, inviting people to tell their story and so on and so on, and so I went, and I was expecting to hear another victim story and so on and so on, but instead we got to hear from this ex Jehovah Witness man who has been out for years. And what he has been doing, he's been helping ex Jehovah Witnesses, especially people that have been victims of child sexual abuse or women that have been victims to husbands being abusive. That, not only has he helped, online or whatever, he actually went to meet these people on the ground, like you're doing, underground heroes is, what I see you people at, and especially this man, he even sold his house he gave, he lost everything, and on top of that, he sold his house in order to be able to help these people.
No.
Like you're saying, you were lucky to, come across someone. Well, he has been that angel, giving people, 400, 4,000, 500, $5,000, whatever was necessary for the situation. And before you know it, people were contacting him left, right, and center,
Wow.
and he never turned away from any of them. He was not afraid to give money or to provide a home or to provide, to find a rental unit or something. And I thought to myself, well, all of a sudden I felt very small in comparison to him. Okay. Because what this man has been doing is, um, and he, only came on to just share a little bit, and then all of a sudden he shared this story. And I thought, how many people would benefit from hearing, what he has been doing? And so it became obvious to me that there are so many, doing what they can and really doing God's work, much more now than they were when they were part of this
Yes.
organization, that is completely terrible. But I'm glad that they're finally going to face some charges in court.
Mm.
And if they don't show up, they can lose by default. And whether they show up or not, it's the end for them. Because once it becomes public of what they're guilty of the cover-up for child sexual abuse and all the rest of the things, that'll be the beginning of the end for them. Because finally, most of the other brothers and sisters are going to wake up to the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Slavika, and we're absolutely concerned about the ones that are still there when they
Yeah.
have, because they may be stunned, they may be disoriented, they may be confused, and simply not know which way to turn. So we're watching, watching for them, and we're hoping.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for sharing
Yeah,
that, Slavika.
Slavika,
Thank
maybe we can be connected with that man sometime. If you could let us know who it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Marissa, did you want to share something?
Hi everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Yes, I had my first call from a couple of elders since we left. It's been over 3 years.
Wow.
And I've been seeing, of course, a psychologist, and I just, to what she said earlier about the universe and the energy that we put out, there's been a lot of work I have done. I'm now approaching, because I was, a teenager when I became a witness, the realization of why I was vulnerable to joining the cult in the first place. But what was really just to provide hope for people who have been feeling distressed and anxious and depressed. I usually was like a Chihuahua dog, a neurotic mess whenever the brothers were, because they just, it was all me. It was my energy, as she said earlier, the energy that we put out. But, the brother called and I go, oh my gosh, Kevin, Yoshi's calling. And I picked up the phone with like the very first ring. And after I hung up, I was like, wow. Kevin looked at me. He goes, oh my gosh, you were so calm. And I think what I realized was I feel safe.
Yeah.
And I'm in control. I mean, they wanted me to go to the Kingdom Hall, and I was like, oh, that's not going to work out. And it was just beautiful to be able to witness the healing that occurs when you do the work.
Yeah.
And something to rejoice, and something for all of us, because we're always going to keep moving forward and healing and hopefully being better today than we were yesterday. But it was just so nice. I mean, my heartbeat didn't even like skip or go up.
That's
That's
really
I mean,
that's really growth. That
Yeah.
really
I
is.
mean, they were fishing, you know, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
fishing. And you know, I too, I think what Annie was asking earlier about like what would help her too. There's so many tools out there at our disposal, you know, like I think was gratitude was mentioned. A gratitude journal has helped, meditation, doing breath work, EMDR has helped me with my psychologist, anchoring, you know, stretching, mindfulness. There's so many things at our disposal that can help us put the energy out there that will help us receive goodness, because they were actually really kind too. I mean, they were trying to get me in trouble, but because I was reaping fiery coals over their head, you know, killing them with kindness, they sort of asked if they could call back. And I couldn't even say no, you know, I didn't mind. I felt nothing but sadness for them that they were trapped. So anyways, I just
They
wanted to
are
share
going
that.
to need, they're going to need more than they realize. They
Yes.
are,
Yes.
You know, they may look at us and they may say, wow, they're strong. You know, they're not the picture that we've been given of these horrible people
Bitter.
that are apostates. And they're going to see this.
And see, the ones that see that are exactly the ones that are coming out now, and that will continue.
Yeah.
This is, you got to have, well, I'm very confident with what is happening, because that is happening right now. And they know it. They see it. And I'm glad they see it, because they need a place to come to.
Yeah.
We're glad. You know, I've boiled down, I need to boil things down to the simplest sometimes. Things can get incredibly complicated, and you don't know which way to turn, what to do, the answer. And I boiled it down to the one simple, like a little mantra. It's like 2 words: do good. Just, what should I do? I don't know. Do good. Just some, and at the time, there's always some good that we can do. And it may not be a lot. It may be a lot. It may take a lot of courage. It may not take much courage. But just remember that. Do good. And we're among people who basically are sharing good. We're sharing good.
Like E.T., Joe? Like E.T., where he said, be good. Remember that?
You know, I don't remember that, but I will now.
We had the finger.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, good. That'll help. Oh, dear. You know, I tell people, I come here for inspiration. I really do. I look for inspiration. And I tell people, I don't pray. I'll be sure. I do not pray for God's Holy Spirit. I do not. I don't do that. I don't pray for God's Holy Spirit. I look for inspiration from others.
And try to be inspiring.
And I get it. And I get inspiration from people.
Yeah.
And I'm inspired. I am inspired.
Well, I'm inspired with your truth, Joe and Fran and community. We might not all align with the various truths, but that's what's coming out, and it heals.
Don't have to. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, we were had a conversation with someone today. They said, well, we may not agree with everything. I said, we don't have to agree with everything. The differences allow us to have discoveries. You know, you can't discover things if you're both talking about the same thing and both, I believe everything you believe. You'll never discover anything new.
What's that, the echo chamber?
Yeah, yeah.
You go to the Kingdom Hall and everybody's talking about the same thing. You know?
Differences allow us for discoveries.
Yeah, we have to be unified.
Sharing ideas adds to growth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a friend who's still in, though she's always kind of been on the fringes. I don't think she listens to the broadcast or anything like that, but we've been friends for a long time. And we were talking on the phone recently, and of course she knows I'm out. And I've tried to share with her, but she's can only see just so much, and the blinders go up. She doesn't want. It takes too much effort. She's kind of a lazy person, not to be that's unkind to say, but she really is. And she out of the blue, she asked me, do you still pray? And I wouldn't answer her. I wouldn't answer her because Well, that's a very strange question, I think, to ask anyone if they still pray. And so I dodged it. But I thought, well, what do I say? If I say yes, she's going to look at me one way. If I say no, she's going to judge me that way. So I just said, I kind of stumbled over my words a little bit, but I just said, finally, I don't discuss it. I don't discuss my beliefs or my feelings at all. Well, it's a simple yes or no answer. And I said, I know.
It's
But I
simply
don't.
none of anybody's business.
Right, exactly. I should have said that. And I guess I should have asked her, why does it matter?
Well,
That
or, I
was,
mean, you could have
yeah.
turned it around and said, well, how about you? How
Oh,
about
she
you?
would say yes, she does, of
Okay.
course.
Okay. Well, she did. Okay.
I would say it's a personal, you know, I keep it personal.
Yeah, that's
You know,
what I said. I said
yeah.
I don't talk about my beliefs because it's
Right.
personal.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
it.
know she couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
But
I have a question, Joe and Fran, and it's not designed to trigger anybody, but it's, I suppose it comes from an insecurity, and it's an insecurity that comes in healing groups. And it's feeling like okay, let me speak for myself. My personal presence, I have a concern about triggering audience or triggering persons in the community, because it's one of those, I'm going to say, unfortunate inevitabilities that happens. And my inclination is just to go, well, I'm going to pack it in and just withdraw. Because it's a very tricky thing, because you know, as a witness, condition as a witness, you want to put others' interests ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's Deanna. Go ahead.
Okay, so Jehovah's Witnesses are some of the most thin-skinned, overly sensitive people I have ever met in my entire life. Like, you know, in the real world, nobody gives a crap if your shirt is a V-neck. No one gives a crap if your shirt is if your skirt is above your knee. People in the world are grown-ups for the most part, and they can handle stuff a whole lot better than Jehovah's Witnesses do. Jehovah's Witnesses, they use that as a weapon. I'm offended. Oh, I'm so offended. I don't think anybody in the world gets offended like Jehovah's Witnesses do.
And the positive side of
I mean,
this
good for you for being kind and considerate, but honestly, they don't really care anywhere near as much as Jehovah's Witnesses do.
Look, that's like this quote unquote triggering. It really what it's doing, it's opening the window to a darkness that we may see. It's opening up something that we need to see. It's opening up a shadow that we have, and we don't need to be in shadow. And you're doing that person a favor. You know.
Yeah. Here's another example too. You could be in a group of 10 people. Be in a group of 10 people. Somebody's going to get offended about something. There is no way that you're going to be able to keep all 10 people happy unless you are so invisible and so vanilla that nobody even notices that you're there.
Exactly.
And that's not fair to you, nor is that fair to them, because you are a flavor.
I got to say something. We grew up in an Italian family.
Oh, God.
And in an Italian family, everybody's talking at the same time. Nobody's listening to anybody else. and Joe's family, his grandmother, they had 10. And when they all came together, they were arguing. And it's like, you thought that they were going to do something bad. And at the end, they're all hugs and kisses.
Right.
So, it's like, get over it. Get over it, you know?
See, these are things that just exposing yourself to a new culture, it helps you grow. It's just what Deanna, you said it takes courage, and it does. It takes courage, absolutely, but it takes a hunger to be more of what we need. And how do you know what you need? Lay in bed in the dark, awake at night with yourself, You'll tell yourself what you need. You listen to yourself. You will tell you. You will tell you what you need. And then from there, the universe wants to open it up to you.
You know, I'd like to add something else to that too, Matthew. Being in the religion taught us basically that we are responsible for other
Yeah.
people's response.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if you're offended, that's my fault. It's something
That's
that I did. So
That's right.
therefore I need to micromanage me so
That's
that you don't
ridiculous.
get triggered or so you don't
That's
get
so,
offended.
that is so
And
ridiculous.
that is not how the real world works at
See,
all.
it's
You know,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. If somebody
also
chooses to
stifles
be
you.
offended, yeah, if somebody chooses to be offended, that is their business, not our business anymore.
And look, and
Right.
among other cultures, they would look at you and say, "Were you crazy?"
Yeah.
Were you crazy?
Yeah.
That's part of
now,
why when I was
just
in the cult,
one moment, please. One moment. In defense of Matthew, there is nothing wrong with being concerned with other
Of
people's
course.
feelings.
Yes.
Right, of course.
Yes.
but not
And
at
Oh, I
your
agree. I
expense.
agree
And I
with
think
you.
the point is authenticity was something that was completely eliminated
Yeah.
Exactly.
from us as witnesses. And so if you want to wear purple hair because
Exactly.
that inspires you,
Oh, you're
then
triggering.
you may care that someone's offended because your intent isn't to hurt them, but
No.
it's certainly not your responsibility to protect them from,
Yeah,
And see,
emotions
I
that come up.
take death threats very seriously. I don't ignore
well,
it
we'll see
because,
in a bit.
and unfortunately, it's come from ExJW community, or it's come from plants, or it's come from third-party hired units that have been deployed by JW. Now, I'm aware of those things, but now I come into a community like this, and for the first time in ages, start to feel joy just at the community. And it's almost like as soon as you feel joy, it's a superstition that kicks in.
Yeah.
That's now saying that, and especially when receiving a threat from, let's say, somebody who's damaged psychologically. I mean, we're full of it in the community. That's a fact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now they feel threatened because they're going, oh, well, Matt, you're a plant, you're a spy, you're a JW, or you're in this weird liminal space because of complex legalities, and I feel you're a threat. And you know what? I'm going to hunt you down, and I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to take out people that mean something to you, and then eliminate you. I've lived with that for years, but I've had a fresh bout of it. And I was almost ready to pack it in. I was almost ready to say, "Sheesh." I can see the patterns. I can't cry foul play. I can just see that every time there was somebody that offered something towards me because I needed it, they died. Car accident. It is unbelievable. So I have to look at this. And I have to go, I can't just ignore it.
No.
No.
You travel, and and if you live in that environment and situation, I'm sure you should be very careful.
Well, Joe, I tied into the police to the extent possible. If there's something that's substantial, and I've got a record of it, I just go, I can't handle it. I can't handle it on my own. That's what your job is for, and I go, that's the best I can do. And I did lose fear of death of my own life, but when it's other persons who've been threatened, and that's the leverage. And I went to court over this. I went into South African court and said, when they took a child and threatened the child because they could see that they couldn't threaten me, that's when I said, right, whatever you want to do, you've got my compliance. I comply. And I go, what goes around comes around, because life has got this weird way that I'll win this battle, but when community finds you, they're gonna come after you. And that's what happened. And I went into the court system and I made my testimony from that point. But I was powerless when it was now threatening somebody else that was close to me. And in this case, it's unfortunately our community. I'm rattled. I am
Those are
rattled.
threats. Yeah, those are
That's
threats.
exactly how they want you to be. And to
Those
me,
are
what you're
threats. They're
talking
gonna
about is
come.
your concern about triggering people sounds like shades of, I don't want to stumble anybody. That's what it sounds like to me. But the fact is, we all stumble each other. We're like a pinball machine. It's our balls going back and forth. We all get triggered off of each other, and we
And they,
get to learn why we got triggered from whatever was said by whoever. So this is a normal experience that happens within this community in our healing journey. And then as time goes by, it just happens less and less. But
Yeah.
that's to be expected within this community is to get triggered. Yesterday, somebody put in a comment about how drag queens are in the school system and are they still in the school system? And I'm just like, really? What school system was like? I was trying to make them tell me. And because it's in my mind, I got very upset about it because it happened in libraries and parents took their kids to see this. And what I was hearing implied like the school system is paying for this. So just anything can trigger anybody. And it isn't your responsibility to make sure I don't get triggered or somebody else gets triggered. I have to deal with that. And that's part of my healing. I have to look at why did that bug me so bad when somebody said that to me yesterday? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
still kind of pondering it, you
yeah.
know?
And even if Matthew, even if you said something with zero intention of hurting somebody,
Yeah.
if they take their life as a result of something you said, it's not your fault. It isn't your fault. There are other things going
Yeah.
on in that person's brain, that
And
Yeah.
person's mind, that person's life, and you can't blame one thing.
well,
Suicide, you know, sorry, Joe.
no, look, let me illustrate the opposite extreme of this. The extreme. Just today we heard, and maybe you heard too, that Australia is making a law that restricts the social media
Mhm.
from children under
The age of 16.
16
16 and under.
because of targeted malicious bullying that's resulting in suicide.
Mhm.
So we're talking about the extreme of this thing called stumbling or whatever. That's malicious.
Mhm.
That's malice.
Yeah.
That's conscionable. That's actionable stuff. And so I mean that's what's happening to the extreme of things.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes also like you're supposed to make sure Jehovah's okay too. Your behavior is actually
Exactly.
responsible for how Jehovah feels. If you
Yeah.
do this in a certain
Which
manner,
would
you're pleasing
right.
Jehovah. And if you do this in another manner, you're displeasing, like as if you could make Jehovah sad by some of your actions.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That's where. Yeah.
that's
That's
too big of a deal to put on you,
Well, that's
is what
like
I'm
me.
saying. But that's what,
Everybody,
sure,
don't
you,
make
you
me sad. Don't make me sad. You're responsible for making me sad. I don't. It's like it's
Right.
ridiculous. You're not responsible for making me sad.
I mean, yes, if we're friends, I might bring something up to you and say, look, when you said this, it really offended me.
Yeah.
And then we go on in our friendship. And if I notice that you just keep doing it every chance you get, then it's my responsibility to move myself away from you
That's right.
because it looks like they're trying to do it.
That's right.
But if
Exactly.
you kind of catch yourself a few times and then like not do it, it would actually tell me you care. So yeah, but what you're talking about, these death threats, that's pretty alarming. And yeah, that is concerning. But if you were doing everything properly in the JW manner, would you be getting this kind of a reaction? Or to me, it only confirms that you are on your healing journey.
You're over the
And
target.
it reminds me of the king from the Bible who tells the two mothers, "Let me take this baby and cut it in half,"
Mm-hmm.
so that one of you guys can have the one that's, that'll shut them both up. And then the real mother said, like you were talking about in this event at the court, I hope I'm making sense. And I think it's very fascinating that Marissa talked about suicide and things that you say affecting someone's suicide. I don't think that's any accident either.
Linda James, you know I'm grateful towards you, Joe Fran. In fact, I'm not going to single anyone out. Deanna, this is your show tonight, but I appreciate everybody listening to that, because this one, it might sound like something that's been discussed over and over, but I'm a
You're
knot.
living. You're living.
I am a knot.
You're living.
Yeah.
You're living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot get past my headache, and I'm unfortunately bleeding because of the stress. It's just one of those symptoms that happens, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter trying to rationalize it. And you can say, is it a new experience? No, I've been through this before.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate Fran and Joe, you just listening to that. And I appreciate everybody's input here. I really do.
Has any of it helped you, Matthew?
Yes, because it's shared experience. So, Slavika, just you talking now, I go, wow, that's the important connection.
Matthew, let me ask
Yeah.
you.
I'm going to share a story with you, my personal story, and you're going to laugh your head off about this. Okay. When I first started getting involved with the Jehovah's Witnesses, I thought, many great things and so on about them. And then my mother passed away. And as a result of learning the truth and so on, more biblical knowledge and so on, my mother left it up to me to decide, how she should be, buried or cremated and so on. And I thought, well, now that I'm, with the Jehovah's Witnesses and starting to learn the truth, maybe I should ask one of the brothers, one of the elders, to conduct her, what do they call that?
Memorial talk.
Yeah, the memorial. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And so I asked one of the senior elders, about they had all heard, that my mother had passed away. And so I asked him if he would, please do my mother's memorial. And what he said floored me. He said, well, your mother was not a Jehovah's Witness, and I wasn't either, for that matter. And, I can't really do the memorial because she was not a Jehovah's Witness. And also, we don't know if she was a good person or a bad person. Now, it would have been better for him to slap me in the face than to have told me that. Because I just reacted. I said, well, where in the Bible does it say that we should worry about if a person was a good person or a bad person, while they were alive? And now that they're dead, doesn't it say in the scriptures that when we die, we have paid for all our sins?
Right.
Yeah, that puts them.
Okay.
No, that was terrible. They should never have said
Okay.
that.
So this is the first thing that I got into a conflict situation with one of the head elders in my congregation. But the thing is that taught me something. I started thinking, what the hell is going on here? Okay, are these people concerned with the scriptures? Do they know the scriptures? Or why am I teaching this guy the scriptures and I'm just a beginner here? I'm just a newbie. Okay. But then I started paying attention right away. At my first meeting with the elders and after that, when the person I was studying with said, it's time for you to get baptized. So go and talk to the elders and, and tell them that you're ready to get baptized. So I thought, okay, so I made an appointment with them, went to this meeting, and they started saying things like, we want you to stop talking to people about natural health and, about vitamins and minerals and so on and so on. And again, my question was, where in the Bible does it say that? Okay, so right away, again, conflict situation, right? Well, they labeled me as a person who is a troublemaker, right?
Yep,
Because
right
as soon
away.
as you don't lay down and let them walk all over you, you're a problem.
Yep.
Well, by their fruits you'll know them.
That's it.
By their
So,
fruit.
so this continued, for a while. And I thought, well, maybe it's just the elders in this congregation, but it can't be, that the governing body is like this. Well, guess what? Then COVID started. And then I heard a governing body say, about the vaccine, take one if you can. What is he saying, And then I knew right away, this is not the true religion. This is a cult. All of these people are apostates. Let me out of here as fast as possible. Open the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's just me because I was already a mature person when I started with them. So I saw through the bull right away. But,
Well,
I love God and I love the Bible. And I love what I was learning. And I still, I'm still amazed and so inspired by the scriptures. And really, that's all that we need. All the love that we all need is right there in the scriptures. All the encouragement that we need is right there in the scriptures. And, and Jesus was a perfect example of love and understanding and, self-sacrifice. Only a human being can sacrifice his own life for the good of his friends, as he did for us. And
Well,
wow, is that something?
I'm glad you're here, Slavika.
Yep.
I'm glad
Thank you
you're
for
here with
sharing
us.
that. Mm-hmm.
Matthew, I was thinking too that you can't, there's a song, you can't please everyone, you have to please yourself. I don't mean to be that drastic about it.
You need to
But
protect.
when I was raising my son, I wanted him at the time to adopt the Jehovah's Witness belief system. But I also told him at the same time, but you have to be true to yourself too. You can't live your life through other people. So you can only build your own personality in your own ways. And you can't spend your whole life worrying about other people. They're responsible for themselves. So maybe that will help a little.
Yeah. And Matthew, I have to ask you, are there others in your position?
Oh, Joe. Thanks for your question. I appreciate it.
I mean, if you don't want to answer,
Joe, I have so many people crying out for help. That's how I got into trouble. Because first of all, they did this transfer, and I was transferred to this congregation. Okay. Then they, and that got me off the service committee. Then they imported somebody outside of the territory. And as I come into the congregation, I had people saying, Matt, you have no idea what you've walked into here. You have walked into the most evil situation. And I'm in my JW brain's going, oh, this is a spiritually weak person complaining. And I was getting one after another, and it was the big capital C, capital A. And that's what was at the root of this thing. And it was unaliving. It was just let your imagination run wild. This is how bad it went into gangsters. It went into syndicates. It was huge. But do I appreciate knowing the truth? It's a terrible truth. I don't want to go back. I don't want to live in ignorance about it. But to answer your question, Joe, as an elder, I took my responsibility seriously. I'm going, you've cried for help. You're saying you need justice. You need protection. Yeah, I'm going to spring into action. And I did it. I took it all the way to GB level, all the way to governing body level, and made sure it was signed for. I made sure everything was witnessed. But persons are still trapped, Joe. They're still trapped. And it's Absolutely. Oh, here's the other thing. I discovered, because I actually thought we were making headway. Because some elders came off, and I go, oh, did they admit? Yes, they've admitted, they've confessed the whole lot. And I went, wow, really? And Joe, recently I realized they hadn't. They had given half a confession because there was a financial aspect which had pushed them into a corner to admit so much. And I realized that this didn't come out. It hasn't come out. You only confessed enough for your own advantage. So to answer you, Joe, sadly, people are still trapped by this mess.
So Matthew, are you still functioning as a witness while seeing all the badness of it?
The reality is I am on the show. What JW would be on Fran and Joe's show. Now, I know I'm being monitored.
Yeah.
So it's only legality. They will say, oh, here was the thing. They said, Matt, we want to appoint you to be an elder. I said, no.
No.
And they announced me in the hall as an elder.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus. Oh.
Then when I had pointed out that there was an instruction to congregants to create harm, and congregants had actually acted on that information obediently, following the authority, and I recorded it, then they said, no, we're charging you with breach of confidentiality, and that is the basis for our disciplinary action. So I said, oh yeah, so you can't lead that case. It's a conflict of interest. You can't do that. And it was affecting 2-year-old children, two years old. People were seeing it in the congregation. They saw this happen at the Kingdom Hall. They witnessed it.
Wow.
You know what?
And not
You
and
have
I'm
a
not,
beautiful
I'm not
heart.
talking
I can
far,
see it.
I'm talking 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Oh, no wonder you're still very affected.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
You've got such a. You're so sincere. You're so sincere. You know, one thing. The only advice that I could have is trying to get justice from a cult isn't going to happen.
No.
They're not going to confess
from the enforcement
They're not
agent.
going to.
They don't want to touch it with a barge pole.
You know what? Some people, when they realize that it's a cult, they go on a clean it up rampage, make things right. And that's because you have a good heart. But you know what, honey? You also have a life to live. And maybe your responsibility is not to clear the snake den. Maybe your job is to live a wonderful life. And all that stuff, let it sort it out yourself. If it's stressing you, if it's making you bleed, if it's affecting your health, and you're not really doing anything about it anyway, you know, you're one person fighting a corrupt organization. And I'm not saying that nobody should try. I'm not saying everybody should just turn around and walk away. I'm saying if your health is suffering for it, your ultimate responsibility is to protect you, honey. Your ultimate responsibility is to take care of your own health, your own emotional health, your own mental health. When we're mentally, emotionally, physically healthy, then maybe we can tackle the demons. You know, I mean, figuratively speaking, we can tackle the monsters. But when it's literally affecting your whole entire well-being, maybe it's time to say, okay, wait a second. Maybe I'm spitting into a fire here. Maybe I need to take care of my own health for a minute.
So I cut off communication. I cut it off. Went to police. I said, right, I need whistleblower protection. I need boundary protection. When I say a no is a no, I mean it. Don't come and invade my space. But remember, JW is its own sovereign nation. They can walk into your house and they tell me you are organization property. You have no... I'm told I have no will of my own. I do not belong to myself. And I go, can we stop people at the door, please? Please do not open the gate. Don't come in. Don't take opportunity. And every time you do, I'm just going to report you to the police because I've set the boundary. But
That's a lie, Matthew. You are not their property. You are your
yeah,
own property. You are
sure.
not theirs.
But they find ways, and that's how I got the big, what's it, 100 million lawsuit document. I shouldn't be in possession of these documents, but they're going, oh, you're an anointed JW, you are in charge of the belongings, you should have this. And we're all young people, we don't know what to do, so we're sending you this information. And now I've got to read, you know exactly the case. And I'm going, I shouldn't be in possession of these documents. What are you guys doing? I'm in exile and isolated and set up the boundaries, and it's still coming to me. And I'm going, I can't remove myself from family. I can't remove myself from friends.
Matthew,
I can't remove myself from deaf Granny who can't see and delivers the message.
Deanna is giving you good advice. Don't let it affect you. When you're dealing with apostates, the devil's children, you cannot win with them, okay? Because the devil is so crafty. He knows how to push your buttons. And, you've really shown yourself to him. So he knows exactly how to get at you. But Deanna is giving you great advice. Don't let it affect you and take care of yourself. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. As yourself. Not more than, not less than others. But love your neighbor as yourself. So take care of yourself first. And then you'll be able to take care of your neighbors. But definitely, if it's coming to the point that you're bleeding within, take care of yourself. Surround yourself with people like us.
And I do bring apologies out of respect, because I know that also I can't get out of the triggered thing. So I know that in a way, when I blurt things out, it kind of dominates the discussion. Deanna,
that's okay, and that's okay. You're perfectly welcome here, as far as I'm concerned, and I hope that everybody else does not mind. If you need to blow things out, you're welcome. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Matthew, your expressions are going to help you to figure out exactly what you should do. You will. We're listening to your expressions, and I know you are too. And I trust absolutely that you will give yourself the answer. I know you will.
Well, thanks very much, everybody. And Joe, thank you very much. I think there is something to be said about having a video that's live like this, because it is our affidavit. It's our record.
Yeah.
And somebody says, oh, Matt, I heard you say this. I say, well, I better put my own money where my mouth is. I'm putting the vulnerability here so that there is some kind of record. There is some kind of traceability.
And I appreciate it.
Matthew, my question to you is not accusatory in any way. I think part of the problem, just my opinion, you're in a different country, and witnesses do not function the same in all countries. And so that might be part of the problem. You're kind of in a unique situation that maybe we can't fully understand because we're not there. So, but no,
I've definitely heard of different parts in the country of situations like this, though.
Look, your understanding and I'm going to use this word, the spirit of the community. Let me tell you something. It goes beyond words. Sometimes we're struggling for the words or to get past maybe cultural differences or my type of English or my nuances or your nuances. But I'm absolutely genuine. Just yapping like this, it is incredible. It's like Deanna says, and I can tap into your excitement. I can see you're saying, oh, I've got so many, what is it, authentic friends, right? Yeah, I absolutely relate to that. I go, sure, this is the most meaningful kind of connections I've had for decades.
We're so glad. We're so glad you're here, Matthew.
And Matthew, honestly, and I mean this, you have the answer. I'm not. I don't know what it is, but you do. You will. You do.
Thank you.
But you will struggle. But you're going to struggle with it first. But you're going to struggle with it first.
And you bring a lot to this community too, Matthew. It's
Yes.
appreciated.
Yes. Agreed.
This is
Thank you,
stuff that
everybody.
Barbara Anderson has gone through, and what's his name with the 607 BCE book. Um, so people have gone through what you're talking about and tried to stand up and try to get justice, and then they still are sabotaged.
Yeah.
And it's not your fault. You know what I'm saying? But this idea of putting yourself first is the most foreign thing to a Jehovah's Witness ever. It's really a new concept. And there are things that, can be done legally too that we just don't know about yet.
No. I have to thank you and appreciate all of you. And Deanna, I'm so glad you came.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be here. It was an honor to be here.
And also, Deanna's going to be on our website,
Right
ExJWFriends. We've got her bio. She's got her contact information. So if anyone wants to contact her and maybe sign up for one of her coaching lessons or whatever you provide, that would be great.
Deanna also has a YouTube channel. Fantastic.
I have a YouTube channel too.
Fantastic.
What's the name of your channel?
It's Cult to Freedom.
Cult to Freedom.
Cult to Freedom.
Yeah,
Nice.
Cult to Freedom.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're thankful and we're grateful. And at this point, I think we're going to thank
Vern
and Shauna. And we're going to remind them that, yes, we're going to keep living above. Yes, we are.
And it's so good to see you both smiling because you've been under so much stress for the last, 9 months?
Ever this year. Next year's our year.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Well, I know the last word. No, sorry, I was just
I'm
going to.
still here.
Yeah, I know the last word normally goes to Joe, but Vern, what is it that you like to say?
Live your life with love.
Yeah.
Yay.
Works.
Thank you
It does
all
work.
again.
Look at what fits around you. Look at the community.
Yeah.
Look at all of you guys.
Yeah.
Everyone on screen is all about love.
Yeah.
And I want to thank everyone in the community for everything they've done for us.
Quite
You're very
really
welcome.
Very welcome.
Much
And
gratitude.
thank you, Vern. You've
Thank
done a
you.
lot for us with all your news all the time. Right on.
I just do that for the fun of it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Keep
Good
it
for
up.
you.
Keep it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just fun, watching the dominoes fall.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And watching the friends
Yeah.
Rise.
Oh,
The XJW community is going to be huge. Look at how big it is now. I go online, I see so many new people.
every day.
and
Yeah.
and like this is just a sub community of
That's right.
the overall
Yeah.
larger community.
Right.
That's
I
right.
think it's great because we're learning to disagree. We're learning to have different opinions and go, hey, that's cool. I don't believe you, but I love you. Right? Like it's,
Right.
Yeah, we're not a religion or a cult or anything. We're just
no.
human beings
We're
that
just people.
want to associate, and we all have a common background.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about it.
All right. So thank you, Joe and Fran, for once again
Yeah, for being here
hosting
every-
this meeting.
You're welcome.
To Deanna Moore, thank you so much for your time tonight. It was just a fascinating show. I will put up Deanna's website link underneath in the video description of this video after YouTube processes it. Thank you to the moderators for watching the chat. Appreciate it. And of course, thank you to everybody who tuned in. We had like 61 people tonight.
Wow.
It was a
Wow, that's
very
awesome.
good show. Yeah.
And I'd like to thank everyone on the comments of I do these little broadcasts. A lot of people in the comments and really good comments. So I want to thank everyone.
So, all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Till next
Good
Wednesday,
night.
everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.